Well, I think he's becoming a more significant figure within the royal family. I think for a long time he was content not to have that role. The relationship with his father has not always been good. There's been a lot of friction between them over the years. They seem to have a better understanding of one another. I put a lot of all this down to the influence of Kate and the Middleton family and how they've, I think, have given him some new priorities in his life. But in terms of his royal role, yes, I would agree that he's slightly stepping out, if you like, of that long shadow cast by his father, and is intent on having his own views known. I mean, a lot of us have observed over the years that he's quite different in character and makeup from his father, and has much more in common with the Queen, and that he will take his duties as king in an entirely different way from those of his father. I mean, we know that Prince Charles has made it clear that he'll continue to speak out. He has done again very recently on government policy over immigration, for example. It's very hard to imagine Prince William ever adopting that kind of stance. Having said that, he's not going to be a placid monarch, I don't think. He clearly has issues that are important to him. The homeless one is one of, I suspect, the one closest to his heart, possibly because it was his mother who first introduced him to the plight of homelessness in central London. I remember going on visits with them when they would go out in the evenings. They were still quite young, William and Harry, but particularly William. And his mother would take him to places like the Embankment and to the Strand, to food stations. And I think those sort of visits have had an impact on him. He clearly wants to make it something that he's going to be involved in. So I suspect we will see him addressing those kind of things, but I think in a much more nuanced way than Prince Charles. Prince Charles has been quite indulgent in his views. I think William will be less so. I think what people don't know about William is that he has a steeliness in him. And Charles, yes, he has a degree of steeliness, but his relationship with Andrew is entirely different from that of William. I mean, Andrew was a much-loved younger brother. He was Charles's deputy, effectively, the heir in line to the heir to the throne for all those years before Charles married and had William. And so Charles has always felt a sort of a very close fraternal bond with Andrew, and never wants to kick a man when he's down. William is much more pragmatic, I think. I wouldn't say he's ruthless, and he is fond of Andrew, but he sees the negative effects of Andrew, how he's damaging the royal brand, and he's strongly of the view that Andrew is holding back the family, and therefore he cannot be seen in public. I think William was decisive in ensuring that Andrew had no central role in the recent Jubilee celebration. And he is strongly of the view that Andrew needs to go away and atone, at least for some time, and try and find some kind of role which takes him away from frontline royal work. Well, I think the difficulty that both Charles and William have got, by implication, is that Charles's reign is going to be a short one. We know that. Yes, he could live as long as his mother, but he isn't going to celebrate a Jubilee like his mother did. And once the Prince of Wales is sovereign, the focus on William and Kate will become even more ratcheted up than it is now, because they are the future. They're very agreeable children, will continue to dominate royal family events. And I think that'll be hard for Charles, because it means yet again he's going to be slightly pushed out of the spotlight in much the same way as he was by his late wife, Diana, and now he will be by his son and his son's family. William doesn't particularly want this, I have to say. I mean, he wants his father to have his go, and then it'll be his turn. But we are entering this era of elderly and middle-aged monarchs, stretching way ahead into the distant future. I think William is aware of that, and he's aware about trying to keep the monarchy fresh and relevant. Charles will make changes, no doubt about it. There will be steps, slim down monarchy, we know all about that. I think William will take it much further.
Thanks for watching. On Thursdays, don't forget to tune into Palace Confidential, your weekly look at all things royal.